Yo, what up, street togs, street gods, demigod togs, MSTR togs, god candles loading. Shout out to at LA Doger 21 and MSTRgladiator. This is the way. All right, so the some funny thoughts. First and foremost, I don't actually believe in god candles in the traditional sense. Like, what I mean by that is I don't believe in technical analysis. I don't think about what's it? I don't believe in technical analysis. I don't believe in candles. I think it's all like fake superstition, right? It's kind of like like, it's so funny. We live in like a rational, like, what would, okay, so example, the read all of Nassim Taleb twice, 5 times, right? Black Swan event, right? There's also like a golden swan event. This is like a good swan event. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you're one of those funny people who do all these technical analysis, right? And actually, nice moment. Yeah, kind of like that. All right. So let's say you do all these funny technical analysis, and the downside is, or let's say magically one day, U.S. government, they announce that they're going to purchase like, 10 million Bitcoins or something, right? Obviously all of your loser technical analysis of the past ain't worth nothing, because then Bitcoin will go up like 1 trillion% a day, right? And also, I think this is a big thought too, is that maybe it's not like a quote god candle per se, but a god spring. So for example, and this is the best thing about Seneca, he's taught me more about like investing and intelligence than all these funny peoples out there. So a spring, right? You gotta like squeeze it down, and then boom, or like those toys, you gotta roll back and it goes forward, right? And then so after it's got done its boing thing, right? Like it needs to be re-squeezed in order to get high, right? So everyone is waiting for Bitcoin to be 1 million, 10 million, 100 million, $1 billion of Bitcoin. This is my bullish case, right? Listen carefully, guys. Bitcoin. $10 billion of Bitcoin. Right? Okay, I'm gonna put it out there, right? Maybe watch this video 1 trillion years from now, right? Let us tell you that I could tell you with 1 trillion% certainty that Bitcoin will hit $10 billion of Bitcoin, but like in 1,000 years. And like, you're only gonna benefit off of that from your kids, from when your kids have kids. No, be 6, right? And I think the reason why it's wise not to give too much credence from single childless investors is that, like, I think it's hard for them to think about the long term, because your whole life is just Bitcoin or strategy, whatever it is, right? And making money. And so actually, maybe the best age of people to trust, like, I was born in 88, right? I'm like 37, I think, right? 37, okay, got a 4-year-old kid, right? Got married. Is that when you're married happily and you have a kid and you're thinking about, the futures, right? And, potentially, kind of thriving with the fam bam, right? Is when you're considering these things, or you're thinking about having kids, or expanding your family, what else, right? It's very, very, like, it actually makes things super clear. So the first and foremost, like, what is the point of money, and what else, right? So the first thought, kind of like this tree. So the first use of money is like not to buy a loser Lamborghini, because you buy a Lamborghini, it's gonna make your PP smaller. Not to buy a Rolls, it's just like a cheap Chevrolet, right? Actually, if you wanted a really, really good car, you'd probably get like the top of the line Hyundai Genesis GV90, get in like matte white, or if you wanted to do a wrap, matte pink, or get a gold wrap. That'd be kind of cool. I was actually thinking about Achilles, right? How he does the shining bronze. And and actually just live in Phnom Penh. I mean, the city is paradise. I mean, obviously no place is forever, and it's still good to have a foothold in the States, but at the same time, it's kind of good to bounce in between places. But anyways, so some thoughts. How to remain bullish or whatever, right? Think about, raging bull. Testosterone. Okay, so, I mean, I can't speak 100%, right? I would ascertain that, like, close to 100%, like maybe 99.9, 99%. Let us say be conservative, 70%, 75%, 80% of Bitcoin strategy talk investors are men, right? Like, there's Natalie Brunell, who has a coin podcast, and there's the other new girl, the Bitcoin professor girl. I think she's from Thailand, not sure. But like, actually, this is a funny thing. I'm like, does Natalie Brunell actually own Bitcoin? Question mark. Not sure. But okay. So let me talk about hormones. So the reason why I think typically most Bitcoin investors are men is because we have this hormonal rush and desire for more power. I think men are more greedy than women. I think typically with women, the desire is stability, security, steadiness. Men want more. I think it's just human nature. And as a consequence, like, okay, so just ask Chat this or Grok, right? Like, percentage levels of testosterone on men versus women, right? So first and foremost, ignore everything in popular American society, because everyone is they've lost their criticality. Testes, testosterone, aka your balls, right? The reason why men have higher testosterone than women is that women don't have testicles, they don't have testosterone, balls like men do. I mean, women still do have testosterone, and I think men also do have estrogen. And contrary to popular belief, do some deep research on this. I first got the idea from MSTRgladiator, I think Andrew Fred, right? Is that actually, ironically enough, the higher your testosterone, the more tolerant, the nicer, the friend, like the more like kind of zen and peaceful you is, right? And actually, the people's who's like super like, kind of like aggro, and these are actually very, very low T people, right? Low testosterone peoples, right? So at this point, like, I ain't finna make fun of people's no more. I'm just gonna call them high T or low T, right? So you see all these dudes at the gym who are like, got their, earmuffs on, and they're like side-eyeing you because you're like quadrillion times stronger than you, and then you wave hi at them, and then they're like either pretend they didn't see you, they obviously did, or they look behind you because they're confused, because like in their head they're mean mugging you, and then you're nice to them, right? So shout out to my friend Bao from Crunch Gym in Garden Grove. Bao is like the most virtuous dude at the gym, like the nicest and friendliest, like super jacked, right? And so like treating everyone with kindness and respect is the true manly thing to do, the true high testosterone thing to do. I think men with low testosterone, what they try to do is they try to compare their self-esteem or their ego with other people's. And the reason why this is not a good tactic, shout out to the Royal Palace, I love this place, right? The reason why that's such a bad tactic is because American society, it ties self-esteem and other people. So for example, competition, sports, and stuff like that. And also like social media, just demetricate yourself. I've been doing this since 2017. The only one person you should ever follow online is Michael Saylor, @Saylor. Sailor Till I Die. Actually, the funniest thing that LA Doger at LA Doger 21 said, and I think it's Korean. Yeah, looks. I mean, Korean. Okay. Okay. So LA Doger, if he's Korean, you're watching this, right? 당신이 졸라 멋있어요. Yes. It's like Eric Kim. Do you know Eric Kim is Korean? 안녕하세요. 만나서 반갑습니다. 제 이름이 김상진입니다. 만나서 반갑습니다. Is it 고향이 어디예요? Then people be like, you know, what country are you from? Right? Korean people are like, what country are you from? Said, 저는 베트남 사람이에요. I'm like, just joke. I'm like, I'm a Vietnamese person, right? 와, 당신이 한국말 너무 잘하시네요. And then, yeah, they'd be like, oh, they also speak Korean good. Oh, and then the funny joke is, 당신도 마찬가지네요. Also, another funny thing, living here in Phnom Penh, right? Like chatting with a local Khmer person, right? And then like I'd be like, oh, so how long have you been living in Cambodia? How long you stay in Cambodia? They'll joke. They're like, 37 years. So just joke, right? It's, life is funnier when you just joke around. Be a big kid. Yeah, this is like the best walking path of all time. Look at that. And also, am I the only person on the planet who vlogs with the iPad Pro M4 in selfie wide mode? Oh, Apple, Tim Cook, you want me to help promote the iPad Pro? Just shoot me an email, eric@erickim.com. I got your backs. I'll make Apple great again. I'm the next Steve Jobs. Look at this. The most natty man of all time. But anyways, so yeah, I think you know, thinking about the future. Yeah, I think that the most critical and important things to think about and consider is, you know, just like think more biologically, walk more, exercise more, be in the sun more, weight lift more. And okay, so if you could only prioritize one thing, is high, like 100% carnivore diet. You don't need nothing else. Just 100% meat. So like beef ribs, beef tongue, pork jowl, like, you know, what else, right? Like just to do a fun experiment, right? Spend $100 on like the best beef and wagyu you could afford. Just go to all you can eat Korean barbecue or Japanese barbecue. Shout out to Wagyu Saito. The best wagyu all you can eat Japanese barbecue out there. It's only like $30, right? And then force yourself to sleep 8 to 12 hours a night. Turn off your loser iPhone, throw it in the trash. I throw these Maybach keys. I throw these iPhone keys, right? Throw your iPhone Pros in the trash, right? And when you go home, when it's the evening time to turn off, right? Just turn off your phone, like, you know, the secret handshake, the up volume, down button, power thing, just turn it all the way off. And just like lock, you know, charge it up and just lock it in the cupboard somewhere. Because I've even found myself too, is that like I'm quite sensitive to all of this. Like, for example, typically when even I see my phone on my iPad, like it kind of triggers like a weird, like I gotta check the prices of what is, right? Or what's happening on X. But anyways, yeah, like, so my new goal is to try to, you know, the whole Gandhi quote, become the change which you see in the world. Too much toxicities on Twitter, X, YouTubies, the interwebs, what else, people not sleeping good enough. But don't worry,